Welcome Tamers, tonight I'll be going over another deck profile video. This one's from Special Booster 2.5. It is Xros Heart using the new support that I got, Special Booster 2.5. We will be going over the different ratios that we're running. This is probably going to be the deck I'll be using at the Pasadena Regionals this month on the 30th. I did get first place at one of the locals that I went to. It was an 8-person tournament, but I did get first place. I'll go over my matchups. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave those down below, and I'll see you in the next part of the video. Alright, and just to get started, we'll be going over our eggs. We are running 4 copies of the new Pikmons from BT19. This is a red level 2 with Xros Heart and it's straight, and then it has a when attacking once per turn. By placing one Digimon card with a Xros Heart or blue for trait from your hand under any of your Tamers, you draw 1. So this one we're switching it over from the old Xros Heart deck, where it just when attacking, if this Digimon has Xros Heart in his trait, draw 1. This one's better just because you're setting up your Tamers with like the different cards that you're gonna need when you're digicrossing. Also, it's a good way to tuck in the cards that you need, especially like those shooting Starmons. So we're running this one at 4. I might run a 5th egg, but I think being the old Xros Heart, but I think for now the 4 Pikmons is fine. Next up, we're going into our rookies. We are running 4 copies of the new Shoutmon from BT19. It's a 4 cost level 3. It's a 1k. Evolves for 1 on top of a level 2 that's yellow or red. But if it's Xros Heart in trait, it evolves for 0. And it has an on play that this Digimon may digivolve into Omni Shama from underneath one of your Tamers without paying the cost. And then on deletion, reveal top 3. You may play out a Tamer with a Xros Heart trait among them without paying the cost. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck and then save. And then like the previous Shoutmon's inherit is if it has Xros Heart or in trade gains rush. This one we are running the 4 over the old one just because it allows us to play by an effect, evo into Omni Shout and do -3 and pop something. Or if we are desperate for a Tamer, it's kind of like the BT12 Digimon where like we swing at security, it dies, we reveal top 3. If we play a Tamer, cool. If we don't, then we bottom deck those. So it's kind of like cycling our deck for those Tamers. I do like this one. Unfortunately, it does whiff on the Nene from BT18, but it feels nice when it dies, real top 3, and then you play out a Taiki, right? The BT10 Taiki. So this one for sure we're running it at 4. Next up, we're running 4 copies of the new Sparrowmon from BT19. 4 cost level 3, 2k, evils for 1 on top of purple level 2. But if it's if it's Xros Heart in trade, it evolves for 0. And then it has a when attacking that you may digivolve into a Raptor Sparrow from underneath your Tamers without paying the costs. And then on deletion, you just save. And then his inherit is Collision, which is something new for the whole Xros Heart line. The old Sparrow was Reboot. Reboot was always nice, but the new top end already has that included. So having Collision and having Piercing is nice. So this one we are running at a 4 just because we can swing, right? And if we promote, we have a Tamer, we can swing. We would trigger the Pikmon to put the Raptor Sparrow underneath to draw, and then we would go into Raptor Sparrow, right? And then do his effect. So I do like this one a lot. That's why we're running it at 4. Currently I'm only running 8 rookies. I was gonna do maybe like 11 rookies running the new Pikmons. That one on deletion lets you play out a shooting Starmon from trash and then put a Pikmon and a Starmon underneath. But it never came up. I would never have those in trash. If not, they would be in my hand or they would be underneath my Tamers. So we ended up cutting those 2 for other tech spots. I'll go ahead and show those a little later, but for now it's just the 8 rookies, right? Moving on to our 4s, we are running 3 copies of the new shooting Starmon. So 5 cost level 4, that's 5k. Evolves for 3 on top of a level 3 that's red or yellow, but if it's Xros Heart, evolves for 2. As in all turns, then this is also treated as Starmons, right? When you're trying to digicross. So if you have the X4, X5, you can use this as digicross material. Unfortunately, with the new line, you can save if you're using the new set for the old Xros Heart stuff, like the banned X, like the restricted X4. This wouldn't count as a material save because it is not shooting Starmon in the name. It's not Starmon in the name, is shooting Starmon, right? But with the new stuff it does work because you just save 3 sources. But this one has an all turns, and when any of your Xros Heart trade Digimon are played on your opponent's turn, you give something minus 3k and then minus secret attack minus 1. And then on deletion, most of the level 4s and 5s are going to do this, where you put anything from Xros Heart trade in your trash, or from hand under any of your Tamers. For the most part, you want to do it from trash, is because you're trying to get those pieces that you're missing. And then inherit effect, which never came up whenever I was playing, but it's when attacking once per turn, if Digimon has Xros Heart trait, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2k DP for the turn. So you're able to do minus 2 to like a floodgate and maybe pop it if it's a 2k. But this one we're running it at 3. Next we're running 3 copies of Raptor Sparrow. This one's 5 cost 5k, evolves for 2 on top of a level 2 with Xros Heart trait, or 3 if it's black purple level 3. And then on play, when digivolving, you roll top 3. You get a blue flare Xros Heart trait Digimon to the hand, and then you trash the rest. And then on deletion, the same thing. You could play something from your hand or from trash under one of your Tamers. And then his or her is like the old Sparrow, where like the new Sparrow, which is collision. So it's a good way for you to give collision to your sack and then just pierce through maybe a blocker that they got. But this one we are running at a 3. And then finally for our 4s, I am running the 1 copy of Shaman King version from BT10. It's a 5 cost 4k, use for 2 on top of a level 3 that's red. If it's in its treated as a Shaman, right? So it's on play, you may return 1 card with the Digicross requirements from your trash to the hand, and the material save 1. It Digicrosses for 2 with anything that's Xros Heart in trait. Then inherit, well, it has Shaman in its name, it gains 2k DP. This one, the only reason I'm running is because it allows us to recur our Xros X's or EX6 from trash, right? If maybe we saw all of them and they're all in the trash, they got the Digivolve with them, maybe they're checked in security, we could hard cross this for 3, right? Grab it back, and then now we have our materials. And if we keep turn and we're crossing on the same turn, this could be used as an extra source. If I'm missing any of the materials, this would take its place. So running this one at 1. That is it for all the level 4s. Going into our 5s, I am running 4 copies of Omni Shoutmon from BT19. This is 7 cost 7k, equals for 4 on top of a purple, on top of a yellow and a red level 4. But if it's a Shoutmon, it equals for 4, or if it's anything with Xros Heart trait, it equals for 3. And then his on play and when digivolving is you do minus 3k to one of your opponent's Digimon, and then delete a Digimon that's 3k DP or less. So this allows us to get rid of those Sagmons that can reduce play costs, right? So we could hard drop a Shoutmon for 4, you go here under our Tamers for 0, pop that, give minus 3 to the Sagmon, and then pop it, right? Or pop something else if they have smaller little bodies. On deletion, the same effect. We could put something from our hand or Tamers, from our hand or trash under any of our Tamers. And then this one also gives rush. So instead of like the BT10 Omni Shout that gives security attack +1, this one gives rush. So we have more targets to use for our Xros 4s, Xros 5s, or Xros 6s. So I am running it at 4 because I do want to see this in particular, just because we need that to give our stack rush. Next we have 3 copies of the new Atler Bellissimon, 7 cost 7k, equals 4 on top of a black and a green level 4, but if it's Xros Heart is for 3. This one has an on play when digivolving that until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your Digimon can be returned to hand or deck, and then by your opponent's effects, and it gets 3k DP. So this stops like Mirage, Aegis-Ramon, anything that would bounce our stuff back or bottom deck it. This would prevent it if we do hard drop it. We are not running the new level 4s and that would go from on play Digivolve into under the trash from under your Tamers. I am just running the 5s. I feel like we're trying to do a lot of things. I think we're just keeping with the 5s is fine. On deletion, it's the same effect. And then this one gives the stack blocker, so now we're not relying on Greymon to give us blocker anymore. Now we have Ballista, and he's usually maybe 3 sources now, so even if they did Digivolve 1 or 2, our stack still has blocker. So I do like the new Alert Ballista. Next we have 3 copies of Jaeger Durulumon, 7 cost 7k. It goes for 4 on top of a green and yellow level 4. If it's Xros Heart, it's 3. This one is nice because on play when digivolving, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then that Digimon can activate one digivolving effects or cannot suspend. So if we're able to hard drop this and have a stack on the field, we can suspend it and keep it from activating one digivolving effects. If it's a medieval gallant, we could hard drop this, stop it from doing its effects, or we could digivolve into it. So if we have enough memory to go from Raptor to this for 3, we could stop it from activating one digivolving effects, and then we could hard drop our top end to do effect to digicross, right? So that way it won't die, it won't get suspended and get deleted. And then on deletion, same effects from hand or trash, put under one source blue flare or Xros Heart under one of our Tamers, and then he gives our stack piercing as an inherent effect. So this one we're running at a 3. Next we're running 1 copy of the Xros 5, Shoutmon X5, 10 cost 10k. Digicrosses with Shoutmon, Ballista, Durulu, Starmons, and Sparrowmon. These all count as Digicross materials for it, so he's basically a 0 cost Digicross. And then all turns, when this Digimon will leave the battle area run by your effects, you can place 3 Digimon cards with Xros Heart trait from this Digimon under one of your Tamers. So we're able to material save technically 3 cards, right? And then on deletion, if he does get popped, we could play cost 4 lower from underneath our Tamers without paying the cost. So if he dies, we could play out a Shoutmon going to Omni Shout, swing again with Rush, right? Because we're crossing for 0. This one I like as a one-off. It's a good card, just because it's we do see most of our pieces. We're running a lot of like the low end stuff, so then we could cross for free and then swing 10k at security. Collision, something peers into it, and then we're clearing bodies. So we're running this as a one-off. Next I am running 2 copies of Luminamon from BT19. It's a 5 cost 4k level 5 white Digimon. It digivolves over for 2 over Shademon, which we're not running in the list, and then it has an on play, which is why I'm running her specifically. You roll top 3 cards of your deck, you add a blue flare, Xros Heart, or Twilight trait Digimon, and then you could play out a play cost 4 or less Tamer without paying the costs. And then on deletion, you just save no inherit effect, just because we're able to search 3, right? And then play out a Tamer for free. A lot of the lists run Sepia memory boost that basically searches top 3, gains you 2 memory. But I think this is just slightly better because you actually play out your Tamer. So if you don't want to play out a Tamer, we can treat this as a blazing memory boost, right? Where we play her out for 5, search her top 3, add something into hand, and if we have a Tamer already, we could just drop the Tamer. So I do like this one a lot. It came up a lot when I was playing. It's able to, if they hit the new meter Roxanne security, we play her out because she's 4k, and then now we have a body and we search and we play out a Tamer. So there's a lot of value in this Luminamon. Next on our final level 5s, I'm running 1 copy of the Luminamon Nene version. This one's a 6 cost 6k, evolves on top of any level 4 for 4. But if it's Luminamon, it evolves for 2. If it's Nene with Shaman under, it costs 3, which we are never going to do that, but we do have the Luminamon. So in those off chances, we can digivolve on top. This one, As an on-play when Digivolving that you choose a Digimon on your opponent's side, you play out a level 4 or lower from that stack, and then you pop the chosen Digimon. And then on deletion, you may play one card with a play cost 5 or less from under your Tamers without paying the costs. And then it crosses for 1, -1 if it's named with Shaman. So this would be like if you have both, it would be a 4 cost cross. But if it's you just have Luminamon, it's a 5 cost Digicross. This is nice because it outs those stacks that go up the line into, let's say, a Dynamon, or like they go into a Medieval. In the game that I played today, the opponent went up the line as a Bloomlord, but at different top ends, so it went up the line into Medieval, and then I just hard crossed this for 5, took out like one of their level 3s. The level 3 came out, no searcher, but it popped the stack, so I was able to clear like their Medieval stack. And if they had like an ace, I would overflow, right? So this is a nice like one of that I'm testing out right now. I do enjoy, I like it. It's a funny card, so we're running this one at 1. And then going into our 6s, I am running 4 copies of the new Shaman. It's supposed to be Evolution Cross 6, but I just call it Cross 6. It is 11 cost, 12k. Digicrosses with Omnishout, Z Greymon, Adler Ballista, Jaeger Durulu, and Sparrow, Raptor Sparrow for 1 if you have all the pieces. And then he has Alliance, Reboot, and then Material Save 4. And then on play for each color, you do -6 if you have all colors, because you have black, you have purple, yellow, red, green, and then blue. So you do -6 to the board for the turn, and then you play out a Shooting Starmon from under your Tamers onto the field. And then when attacking, you delete something that's equal to or less DP than it. So for the most part, you'll be bigger because you're doing minus DP. And then when you alliance, you're getting the DP of this Shooting Star, so you could declare the swing, you alliance, and then you do your when attacking. We're like, hey, I'm 19k, with all my inherits, we'll pop that Digimon on the other side. This doesn't work if they're protection from Digimon effects, which is unfortunate because sometimes you might be able to clear the board, but they're protected. For one of my games, I was able to, the same person I played that was playing green, they had 2 Medievals out. I was able to play 2 different cross 6s because every time I played one, I would do -5. I think I did -6 the first one, they popped it. And then I had the Material Save 4, which was nice, so cross again and do another -6. Their stacks didn't have any DB boost, so it just ended up board wiping everything. So we are running this one at 4. It is our boss monster. Next, we're running 2 copies of Z Greymon from BT19, 11 cost 11k. Equals for 3 on top of a level 5 that's blue or black. And then has an on play when Digivolving, Digivolve 2 when your opponent's Digimon. Then if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon, return one of the Digimons that's level 4 lower to the hand. This part never came up just because I was never Digivolving or on playing him. Same thing on deletion, you play out a Blue Fairy Cross Heart trait, Digimon card with play cost 5 or less from under your Tamers without paying the cost, and then you save. The alternates is what matters. It makes you 2k bigger, so you'll be swinging. You're naturally 14 now instead of just a 12k, so it does help you be in range to like maybe pop something if you don't have a second body to alliance with. You'll be 14, maybe they're 12, you're able to pop it, or maybe they may you're 12, they're 13. This will give you that extra 2k boost. So we are running this one at 2 just because we are running 1 tech card, which is the Shaman DX from BT11. This one is counted as both Omnishout and Z Greymon, and is both composite, Blue Fair, Crossheart. So this is not whiffed like this is with Taiki. Taiki doesn't grab this, and then but he grabs this one. And then this one, I'll never evo into it. If anything, it's always just material. But if I ever do, it evos for 5. Sorry, it was for 4 on top of a red level 5, and it was for 3 on top of a blue level 6. And then as Material Save 2, on play, you delete a demon that's 8k DP or less, and then One of your opponent's Digimon can't attack until the end of a turn. So if you do have the pieces and you want to sub something from swinging, you could just cross. He crosses with a Omni Shout and a Z-Greymon for 3 each. So those are 6. So you'll be dropping this dude for 7. Can't pop anything if you can't, but you do stun something. And then if you're able to, let's say, keep turn, right, or next turn comes around, you could swing, end of attack, you delete them to gain a memory, and then you material save. So he's mainly used as another source for Digicross that doesn't get bottom decked by your Tamers. So I am running this one at 1 and I do like it. And then finally for our Digimon, I have one tech that I'm debating on switching entirely. It is Z Millenniumon. It's a 16 cost 16k from BT19. It is 8 evils on top of our Cross X and everything else for 6. Has overclock for composite trait, which just maybe Cross 6, Shaman DX, and then our Shaman X5 are composite traits. So end of turn we could pop any of those to have him swing without suspending. And it has an on play when digivolving when attacking. You return a Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the top of the deck to return something to the bottom of the deck. All turns, if this has no sources, it's not affect your opponent's effects and can't suspend. Which is why we have the overclock. So this one did came up a few times just because my opponent gave me so much memory that I just hard dropped this dude for 16. Right, I think I was at 8. Gave him like 9 or 8. Hard dropped them, and then I was able to like bottom deck something. But most of the time I'll try to set up maybe like the cross 5 and then just pass turn by evoing into this. Then on the digivolve we'll bottom deck something, and then technically when you evo here you're passing turn, right? So then we could pop the X5 to overclock, right? We'll swing unsuspended. On the swing we'll bottom deck something else, and then he would play out a 4 cost or lower from under Tamers. So it's a good little combo that you could do. If I do change it, it will probably be for Valderarm. I did have it, but most of the time I thought that Valderarm was just there. I would never evo into it, especially like on the turn that I'm trying to win, because if I do go Valderarm on top, I would lose my rush. So I have to wait an additional turn to then evo on top, and by then the sack might not even be there. So I'm still tinkering on what I want this card to be. For now, just have it here. It could be maybe another Luminamon, it could be another X5. We could maybe add our 9th rookie, another option maybe. But for now, we have the 1Z Millennium. Going to our Tamers, we have, of course, 4 copies of Taiki from BT10. This one, it's a must. You need to run out of 4. It is your searcher. Gets you all your pieces except maybe like the Tamers and the blue flare stuff. But it's 3 costs on play, real top 4, add 1 to hand. That's Xros Heart in trade, and you put 1 under, and you bottom deck the rest. And then whenever you digicross, you suspend them. So this one for sure we're running at a 4. Next we're running 4 copies of BT11 Taiki Kirihanini, 4 cost Tamer from BT11, right? This one running at a 4 because it's nice to just tuck Digimon Cross or Blue Flare underneath, and then gain memory and a draw. So at the start of our turn, we just constantly cycling through our deck, finding our pieces, tucking them under. Nene would play these out for free. Luminamon will play this out for free. So we're running this one at 4. Also, if we don't see him, at least we have another Digimon that lets us cross. Next and finally, we have 2 copies of Nene from BT18, 4 cost Tamer that sets us to 3. And then if we were to digicross one of our composite trait Digimon, we could suspend her to grab something from under our Tamers and from trash. So if we are missing pieces, we could cross with Nene to grab something from trash that we're missing. So we're running this one at 2. I was thinking of maybe doing a 1-1 split between her and the new Taiki from this set, but I feel like seeing her is nice just because we're able to grab stuff from trash. The Taiki is just a memory setter Taiki that does the same thing as this one, and it costs 1 more. So I think we have more value of the Nene than the new Taiki. His art is nice, but I think this is just better overall. And then finally for the deck, we are running 3 copies of Meteor Rock Soul. This card is the best, it's goated. It's a 3-cost option, and then you can activate one of the effects below, which is either you play a Digimon with Xros Heart trait with 4k DP or less from your hand from your Tamers without paying the cost, or you suspend both your. You have to suspend both. You can meet one condition, so you either need to suspend both the Shoutmon X6 and a Shooting Star for you to get to the effect to unsuspend and then swing at a player. So this could be a finisher where like you check the last 2 security with the alliance, you play this for 3, unsuspend both, and then just swing for game. Or what I tend to do a lot is if I have Luminamon under my Tamer, play this out for 3. If I have a Taikia, I have a Red Source, play this out for 3, play out Luminamon, top 3, and then play out a Tamer. Grab something and play out a Tamer. So that's mainly what I was using. You're able to like cheese out so many Tamers just because you could play the Luminamon out. But it's also nice as a game finisher, or if you want to do 4 checks if you have the memory. You cross for 1, swing alliance 2 checks, do this, unsuspend twice, and like again, swing another 2 checks, that's 4, and then you just need 2 more checks, like 2 more to win, right? So we're running this one at 3, and that's pretty much it for the deck. I do like it. It's a lot faster compared to the other version of the deck I had. Changes I would make, like I mentioned, were probably either take this Zed Millennium out for either a Valder arm, maybe swap this for another option. But overall, the deck feels nice. Sometimes I do feel like I only have 5s in my hand, I can't do anything, so that's probably something I need to get used to. But I'm able to like just go super wide in terms of Tamers and then just play out a bunch of bodies, so it does feel that it's aggro, and then I don't really have to worry about like my Tamers dying that much, just because we have ways to replace those. And then the Nene Lumina combo is just funny, or like if they have a sack that doesn't have protection, okay cool, I'll just Digicross for 5, play out your 4, pop your sack. But yeah, and that is it for tonight's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, concerns, leave those down below and I'll go ahead and respond as best as I can. And then if you haven't done so already, go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.